Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our regular council meeting evening agenda. Today is August 13th, 2025. The time is now 6:14 p.m. and I hereby call this meeting to order. Just a quick reminder, please silence your phones, and if you must take a call, kindly step outside and let's maintain a respectful atmosphere. Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicole Reynoso.
Present.
Councilman Rafael Pineiro.
Present.
Councilwoman Dina Cabral.
Here.
And Vice Mayor Maureen Porras. Here. Mayor Christy Fraga.
Present.
We have quorum.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Pinedo. Okay, agenda order of business. I don't believe there's any changes this morning. None? Okay. Being none, we'll move into the public comments portion of our meeting. I am now opening up the public comments section of our meeting. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address any item on this agenda or anything germane to this council. Please begin with stating your name and address for the record to ensure you're registered with the city clerk, and if not, see the city clerk after. We will first hear from all pre-registered residents or business owners, and then I will call anyone up who would like to speak that is not pre-registered. Please remember that for public hearing items, we will open up before every public hearing. So if you would like to speak on a specific item, hold your comments until that item is read into the record, and I open up the public hearing for that item. As a reminder, in accordance with our city's code of conduct, we ask that you refrain from any direct remarks, keep everything respectful, courteous, and in an orderly manner. All right, anyone who would like to speak on any item, and I believe I have one comment card. I have a comment card from Adrian Castro. Please approach the podium, name and address for the record, and let us know what you're here to speak about.
Yes, I'm Adrian Castro.
So you need to speak into the microphone. There you go.
Okay.
Name and address for the record, please.
Adrian Castro, I live in Corsica, 7731, Northwest 111 Court. I live in Doral for the last 15 years. I always participate in all the different events that you guys do, so I'm very happy in the place that I live. There is only one concern that I would like to raise my voice today. I'm a father with 2 kids, 12 and 7 years old. They play every day soccer all the time. We live very close to Legacy Park. In Legacy Park, they closed the small soccer fields that I understand for beginning of June, based on the records that you guys have, June 4th. I do believe that was earlier than that, but since June 4th, it has been closed. What it says is that, in theory, there is some issues, and I prepare a little small presentation for you guys. I don't know if I can give it to you.
Yes, you can give it to the city clerk, and she will incorporate it into the record and share it with us.
Bottom line, what I want to share is that, in my opinion, we need to do something to improve the planning. That's my position. I always try to be very constructive. I am part of the board community of my place that I live, and I definitely believe that this can be handled in a better way. I know that perhaps the approval process for everything takes time, and especially here, I do get it. But in this case, the soccer fields, because of it's popping up white lines, and you will see in the pictures. I mean, in theory, it is a hazard issue. I do get it. It's for our kids. It has to be fixed, but we can plan in advance that, right? So it has in the same way for the last 6 months, and when they close, now it's 2 months and a half. Nothing has been happening. I have been trying to call in different times, to the people in the park, to the city. Maureen, you has been helping me a lot. Thank you very much for that guidelines. I have been calling with someone here that I can't remember the name. And bottom line, today, this is still closed, right? So our kids lost the opportunity for play for all the summer. So my point of view and my position is, can we do something better? Is that a way that we can improve the planning? Because again, this is a I understand that there is a process. I do get it. We can do that in advance, and then once you close, then it's fixed, right? So based on what I can see in the public records, yes, you guys authorize to change this in June 4th, I do believe, based on a council meeting memorandum that I have here. I found it in public records. Same scenario for the resolution. I believe that the resolution from you guys was signed in June 4th. Today is August, and we're still not having the park. So please, again, don't take it in the wrong way. What I'm trying to say is that let's improve that.
Thank you, Mr. Castro. So our Parks and Recreation Director is in the back and can address your concerns on the way out.
Perfect.
And I do believe that Constituent Services has been in contact with you as well. Artists from Constituent Services, I believe maybe has been in contact with you as well, but I believe Parks can probably address your concerns.
He suggests me to be here, and that's the only reason why I'm here.
Yes, of course. So they can definitely address your concerns. We don't do back and forth for public comments, but our staff is here to address the concerns. So if you mind, Michael, if you don't mind, he can definitely speak with you and give you a little bit more information. But thank you for being here and bringing it to our attention again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castro. Okay, I have no other public comment cards at this time, but anyone else who would like to speak, this is your reasonable opportunity. Please approach the podium. Being none. Okay, public comments is now closed, and we will go into the public hearing items. Madam Clerk, would you like to swear in the witnesses?
Yes, Madam Mayor, thank you. If you'll be presenting testimony in any of the public hearing items, please stand up, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. Michelle? I do solemnly swear that the information that I'm about to present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. Thank you very much. First item, 19A, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, authorizing the city manager to enter into an interlocal agreement with Miami-Dade County for the provision of the city of Doral on-demand transit service at no cost to the city, providing for implementation, providing for incorporation of recitals, and providing for an effective date.
All right, thank you very much. Madam Clerk, let me go ahead and open up public comments for this item. Public comments is now open for item 25-6267. Anyone who would like to speak, please approach the podium. Being none, we close public comments for this item, and I turn it over to Rita Carbonell, our Assistant Planning and Zoning, Public Works Director.
No worries. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So this is a housekeeping item. This is an approval that was passed by the City Council and the Mayor back in April, but they require a public hearing component as part of our interlocal agreement, so this is what we're doing. So it's just basically a housekeeping item in case anybody had any comments on the interlocal agreement that we're entering with Miami-Dade County for the half sales pending tax that we are allowed to use it for on-demand transit.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe we've done this and we just had to.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. No, there's no other questions. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras? Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll
Item
now move-
19B, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, approving the site plan for Mahudi International Corp. Finger Lakes Warehouse for the property located at 2100 Northwest 95th Avenue in the city of Doral, Florida, pursuant to section 53-184F of the city's land development code, providing for implementation, incorporation, of recitals, and an effective date.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and open up public hearing for item 25-6254. Anyone who would like to speak on this item and this item alone, please approach the podium. I do have one comment card for this one, Mr. Gonzalo Pescieri.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yep, that's close enough.
Okay,
Hi, good afternoon.
thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, hi, my name is Gonzalo Pesquera. I'm the president of the Greater Miami Ski Club. We were established in 1955 with the Finger Lakes, which has a huge amount of waterways from Northwest 25th Street to Northwest 12th Street. The property abuts our property, our lakes, and the only issue that we would like to know is like make sure the slope that goes into the waterway, into the lake, complies with the ordinance from the city that was approved in 2009, which is a 4-and-1 slope. Otherwise, we do water skiing there, of course. We go up and down the canals all the time. We have 100 members. And the thing is that when they build a retaining wall, I think there's a case on that also on 87th Avenue, that it was built without a permit. and we cannot use that lake anymore. So we want to make sure this other property complies with a required slope, which is 4-on-1. Otherwise, if they build a retaining wall on our lakes, we cannot do the water skiing anymore because it creates a lot of backwash. So it's just difficult to water ski.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that, whenever they approve the plans, it's according to the ordinance that's been approved in 2009 already.
Okay.
That's all we have.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pichetti. Anyone else would like to speak on this item? Sir, name and address for the record, please.
Yes, hi, good afternoon, Manuel Fernandez. My address is 8103 Northwest 33rd Street here in Doral. I'm the architect for the project, and I have spoken to Gonzalo, right? And we will address your concern. As a matter of fact, I believe at 99% that the slope is 4-on-1. We're not putting in a retaining wall right at the, water edge. We have a small wall inward of our site, but you're concerned of the 4-on-1 slope, it will be there on that site, okay? So I just wanted to
Thank
just
you
make
for
sure
addressing that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please register with the city clerk just to have on record your public comments. Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak on this item? We're on item 25-6254. Being none, public comments is now closed, and we will move into hearing from planning and zoning.
IT, if you could queue up the presentation, please. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Michelle Lopez with your Planning and Zoning Department. Presenting before you this evening, site plan. Sorry. I'm just having a great night so far. Site plan presented by Mahudi International Corp., the applicant, for project referenced as Finger Lakes Warehouse 95th Avenue. The applicant is requesting site plan approval for subject location 2100 Northwest 95th Avenue. The site is just shy of an acre at 0.98 acres, approximately 42,500 square feet for the lot. And the applicant is proposing to construct a new two-story building totaling 14,854 square feet for warehouse operations and office space. A zoning workshop was held on June 25th. No comments from the community were presented at that time. The site is zoned and land used as industrial and completely surrounded on all four sides by the same zoning and land use. The site plan was reviewed for consistency with your comprehensive plan and your LDR, and all land development code requirements have been met. Existing conditions for the site are presented on the screen with views from 95th Avenue, and also across the right-of-way, you'll see on the east view some existing vegetation that currently exists. In addition to the items just presented, the project features modern architectural design for warehouse and office building. They're providing 20 parking spaces, which include 17 parking spaces, 1 ADA space, and 2 loading docks. They're also proposing through their site plan bicycle racks as required by your land development code. They're upgrading their landscaping, and they're providing heat reflective material for the parking area. Here's a copy of the site plan where you can see the parking will front the right-of-way as well as the loading area, and then the building will be set back, situated between the parking and the existing waterways. Here's some elevations of the east and the west, and then elevations of the north and the south, and renderings to show the building articulation and the movement in the front, and to address the residents' concerns in the isometric view, which is a little bit hard to see. You'll see there's a slight slope going into the lake. When we receive the construction documents, we will of course confirm that that slope is consistent with the code requirements, but as the designer for the applicant stated on the record, they are designing with the intent of complying with the city code. As I mentioned, the site plan is fully consistent with your code, meeting your FAR, height, lot width, setbacks, etc., so no issues there. And the site plan was reviewed for consistency with your site plan evaluation standards that are codified, meeting consistency with the comprehensive plan. They are promoting better site design, integration of the project more effectively into the surrounding environment, enhancing property values as the site is currently vacant. They're ensuring harmonious relationship among buildings, uses, and visitors, with the mindset of protecting the health, safety, and welfare of the community and visitors. All traffic concerns have been addressed, and item H is not applicable to this application. With that, staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the proposed site plan for Finger Lakes Warehouse 95th Avenue, located at 2100 95th Avenue, as the project is consistent with your comprehensive plan, land use elements, goals, objectives, and policies, consistent with your land development regulations, consistent with your industrial zoning district regulations, compatible with adjacent land uses and zoning districts, compatible with warehouse and office use in the surrounding area, and meets all of the site plan evaluation standards pursuant to City Code Section 53184C3, approval of development plans in your land development code. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Is there any presentation from the applicant? Not necessary, but, okay.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilman Pinedo.
I just have a quick comment. I'll be in favor, but Ms. Lopez, I know we had the conversation about 95th Avenue.
Yes.
It tends to, when it rains a lot, all that section tends to be pretty much underwater. And it's a private road. And I know each business owner has been trying to take care of their section
Yes.
outside on 95th Avenue. Are we doing the same with the applicant? Is there?
Currently, there's no improvements proposed for the right-of-way. I do plan to speak with the applicant tomorrow, but as of right now, on plan, there are no proposed improvems.
Okay.
I think the
Yes,
applicant
of
wants to address.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, to your question, yes, the owner actually paid for an easement. It was done already by the survey, and we are upgrading the
French drains.
stormwater drainage on that side along the frontage of the road.
Perfect.
It's
I
being
appreciate
done.
it. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, a lot of those streets are still on French drains.
Oh, yeah.
Proper there,
Hey.
so.
So, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. If there's no additional questions or concerns, comments, then we can call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras? Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, we move on to the next item.
First readings, item 19C, ordinance number 2025-25, capital improvement element update. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, adopting the annual update of the capital improvements element CIE of the city's comprehensive plan for 2025 and the 5-year schedule of capital improvements for fiscal years 25-26 and 29-30 pursuant to section 163.13773B Florida statutes and providing for an effective date.
Okay, opening a public hearing for item 25-6255. Anyone who'd like to speak on this item, please approach the podium and speak only to this item. Okay, I have no comment cards and no one has chosen to speak. Closing public comments. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one has chosen to speak at this time, and I will now hear from Planning and Zoning.
Thank you. So every year, the city, in order to comply with Florida statutes and the requirements of their comprehensive plan, we do a 5-year update to our capital improvement element. It's a rinse and repeat. We do this every year. If there's any specific questions related to the projects inserted into the capital improvement element update, I'm here to address those questions, as well as my colleagues in Public Works and Parks and Capital Improvement. Thank you.
All right, any questions for any of the department heads or
Motion to approve.
administration? Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. If there are no further question, comments, or concerns, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2025-25 on first reading, made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras. Mayor Fraga.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, wonderful. Moving on to the next item.
Item 19D, ordinance number 2025-26, BP Doral 826 FL LLC rezoning. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, approving an amendment to the city's official zoning map from industrial commercial IC to industrial I for plus or minus 1.8 acres for property located at 7775 through 7785 Northwest 48th Street, providing for saleability conflicts and an effective date.
Okay, I'm going to open a public hearing for this item first. Public hearing is now open for item 25-6256. Anyone who would like to speak on this item, please approach the podium and speak only on this item. Being none, public comment on item 256256 is now closed. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one has chosen to speak at this time, and I will now take ex parte communication.
I've spoken to the applicant, and that will not influence my decision.
Okay.
Also, I want to disclose that I spoke with the applicant. That will not, it will not affect my decision.
Okay. Anyone else?
Nope.
All right. Being none, okay.
Motion to approve?
Well, I need to hear from planning. We have to put that on the record, the presentation, so I need to hear from planning and zoning. Thank you.
Thank you, IT. The applicant BP Doral 826 FL LLC is proposing a rezoning at property located at 7775, 7785 Northwest 48th Street for approximately 1.8 acres of land. The zoning is industrial commercial with an underlying flume of industrial. On the graphic before you, you'll see the change. On the left side of the graphic, you'll see the industrial commercial, on the right side, industrial, if the rezoning request is adopted. The site has industrial land use categories to the north, south, east, and west, and then zoning to industrial commercial to the north, and industrial to the south and east, and industrial commercial and MF4 to the west. Existing views of the property. So effectively, the site is split zoned with industrial to the east and industrial commercial to the west. What this application is trying to do is provide consistency in zoning throughout for purposes of future development. At your next council meeting, you'll see at second reading of this item, the concurrent site plan. So as I mentioned, the western side of the parcel is approximately 1.8 acres. It's part of an overall warehouse development, which includes a guardhouse, some surface parking, and two-way road with vehicular access to Northwest 79th and the Palmetto Office Park. The request to rezone the west parcel from industrial commercial to industrial district is consistent with your comprehensive plan, industrial future land use. It's consistent with your land development code, and it's compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. Through the request to rezone, permitted uses would include, under industrial, professional offices, hotels, motels, retail services, educational facilities, trade schools, warehouses, showrooms, manufacturing, automobile, parking lots, etc., with some prohibited uses that include amusement centers, entertainment centers, health and exercise centers, sports facilities, and schools. Staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the proposed amendment to the city's official zoning map from industrial commercial to industrial for approximately 1.8 acres, generally located at 7775, 7785 Northwest 48th Street. The applicant's land use council is here as well with a presentation ready should the council wish to hear that presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Would the applicant like to make a quick presentation?
Good evening. My name is Tracy Slavens. My address is 3800 Northeast First Avenue, Suite 200, Miami, Florida. Staff eloquently presented the rezoning. This is a very straightforward application. As she mentioned, as Michelle Lopez mentioned, there's a split zoning on the property. The majority of the development will be on the industrially zoned property. It's just the connection from that main development site to Northwest 79th Avenue that requires the rezoning. And that area in the site plan, which you will see next month, is essentially the entrance driveway and some overflow parking, and that's it. Same as it is configured and designed existing today. I'm happy to show you pictures if you'd like to see them, but otherwise answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Tracy. I don't know if anybody has any additional questions or would like to see the presentation from the applicant. Okay.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion by Councilwoman Cabral, second by Vice Mayor Porras. I believe Councilwoman Reynoso wanted to clarify the record.
Yes, so I did speak with the applicant and it won't affect my vote.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's no additional questions, Madam Clerk, I believe you can call the roll.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2025-26 on first reading made by Councilwoman Cabral and seconded by Vice Mayor Porras. Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras? Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much.
Next item, 19E, ordinance number 2025-27, text amendment special exception. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, amending chapter 53, administration to establish a process for review and approval of special exceptions, providing for incorporation of recitals, incorporation into the code, severability, conflicts, and an effective date.
Okay, I'm going to open up the public hearing for item 25-6268. Anyone from the public who would like to speak on this item and this item alone, please approach the podium. Okay, being none, public comments is closed on item 25-6268. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one has chosen to speak at this time. And this is my item along with Planning and Zoning, who was very instrumental in helping develop it. So, Michelle, you want to go ahead and present? I can help a little bit after that.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
So your city code, when the city was incorporated 21 years ago, it adopted the county code. That's not unusual. It happens almost every time an agency incorporates. With that adoption of the county code, there was a transfer of language that referenced certain uses by special exception. There's a codified fee for the application of special exceptions. Some of your districts reference uses by special exception. For example, a few months ago, I presented an item for special exception approval for paddle court, and that kind of fell within this wheelhouse. The hole in the code is that there is no process that's currently codified for the special exception permit, leaving the interpretation up to the director, not providing clear transparency for the community, the applicants, the businesses, et cetera. So what this code amendment does is it adopts a process that's already referenced in the code but not delineated. So I will briefly take you through the various items of the proposed amendment and then here for any follow-up questions. So purpose and intent. The challenge is that the current land development code lacks a clear, comprehensive framework for review and approval. Issues that present in the current system include that there's no standardization in application procedures. There's unclear criteria and standards. There's an inconsistent evaluation process because it can change from director to director. There's limited transparency for applicants and the community, and there's no defined enforcement mechanism. So the goal is to provide clarity and regulation so that all of those issues that I've just described no longer are issues for the development community and the residents and the businesses. The code amendment provides an application process, which includes a pre-application conference with the Planning and Zoning Department. Every application that we process that's presented before you or reviewed administratively goes through a pre-application meeting. We do them on Teams. It's very fast and easy. Obviously, the application submittal process, which is done through our CSS portal. The code provides the staff review technical requirements and completeness check. We will request a zoning workshop, which is something that the code requires for variances and site plans and your other types of applications. So we maintained that same criteria. And then city council approval for public hearing and final decision. So the application will be presented to the council upon first review, and then if approved by the council every year thereafter, it will be automatically renewed as long as there's no extensive code enforcement action, your police services don't have to visit the site, they're not conducting work without permits, inconsistent with the Florida Building Code, etc. The documentation that's going to be required through the application includes a site plan with buildings, circulation, parking, landscaping, et cetera, a current survey, traffic study, building elevations and 3D renderings, and then some operational information to include description of major facilities, the hours of operation, and additional data as requested by staff. The review criteria will include compatibility with surrounding areas to ensure that there's no excessive noise or light or density impacts. Traffic review, which your Public Works Department does with almost any application, including site plans, changes of use, et cetera. Consistency with the comprehensive plan, goals, objectives, and policies. There's provisions related to code compliance, design standards to limit, visual impact, site configuration, ensure consistency with setbacks, and your landscaping code. We want to make sure that the development pattern is logical, timely, and orderly, and, special considerations that may affect the surrounding area and the neighbors that exist. Public notice requirements consistent with site plans and variances and rezonings will also be effective for through this code amendment, so property postings and public advertisement, and then permit terms. As I mentioned, the special permit will be valid for 1 year, and then will go into automatic renewal consistent with the BTR cycle, so long as the applicant is compliant with your city code and isn't undergoing code enforcement and isn't doing work without permits. Enforcement measures are also implemented through the code. First offense could be up to $1,000 a day. Subsequent offenses could be up to $5,000 per day. Again, that's when an applicant is operating outside of the permit and violating the code and not being a good neighbor. Enforcement actions can include unannounced inspections during business hours, suspension or revocation of noncompliance, enhanced penalties for health and safety threats, injunctive relief, and a 12-month probation after revocation of license if we get to that point. There are criteria for minor and major changes. So minor changes include relocation of square footage less than 5%, increase of square footage less than 5%, increase of structure in height less than 5%, and the applicant will only be allowed to do one administrative modification. The reason for that is we don't want them compounding. Okay, I'm doing less than 5%. And then I'm going to do another modification in a year less than 5, at 5%. And they can go up to 20, 30, 40. So we want to make sure that we control the original intent of the permit and the council action. Major changes beyond that will go before the city council for review. Benefits include both the city and the applicants. For the city, there's a consistent evaluation process that will be codified. There's clear enforcement mechanisms so the applicants understand what they can and can't do. There's protection for the community character. There's alignment with your comprehensive plan and enhanced public transparency. For the applicants, it provides for clear application procedures, defined review criteria, predictable timelines, opportunity for conditions versus denial, and appealable rights are protected. Staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the proposed amendment as it provides consistency and transparency, protects community interests, provides clear guidance to applicants, supports the city's planning goals, and ensures appropriate enforcement. If passed upon first reading, the code amendment will proceed to your September 10th city council meeting, and it will be effective immediately upon second reading. And then in the future, we will start looking at potential uses for special exception, which would be adopted via each individual district. So for example, your ARA district, sub-area district allows for fitness sports centers by special exception over 5,000 square feet. We would expand upon that list, ensuring that it's compatible with the surrounding area. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Just to put it into a little more layman's terms for everyone as to why I asked to bring this forward, we are pretty restrictive in our industrial area when it comes to entertainment uses. And for example, we get a lot of requests for paddle or indoor soccer fields or a golf simulator, type of business where they want to do indoor golf lessons. But we have been very intentional about preserving the uses of the industrial zones, which I very much believe is important to do, and we want to continue to do that. However, we also don't want to be so restrictive where we're losing good businesses in our community, or we get, we basically box businesses out that are needed in our community. And some of these are better utilized in warehouse spaces with certain special exemptions. So our code did not allow for that special use permit or special exemption permit, conditional uses. These are different terms you can find across different municipalities that applicants can go to allow this type of business in an area. And it gives us a more thoughtful process on choosing where we would allow and what types of business we would allow in certain zones while still protecting the characteristics of our neighborhoods and the industrial uses. So I asked Michelle to take a look at this so that we could bring forward the process. And like she said, the next step will be to bring forward list of uses that could apply for these special exception or conditional uses. And then it would be up to us to decide and what zoning we want to allow that in and what types of uses. And then even then it would still have to come to council for those approvals. We've discussed doing a limited number of them. There are certain businesses we definitely don't want to encroach into our industrial uses, but I think that there is an opportunity for, especially in the, athletic fields or in the world of sports, that it is beneficial to our community. So we're studying this, looking at it, but this is the first step to being able to do it. So I would appreciate the support from my colleagues to be able to get this done so that we can move forward and hopefully not have to turn away as many businesses as I do, at least in my office, that come to try and do this in our community. So. Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras, second by Councilman Pinedo. Any other questions, comments? No? All right. Thank you very much, Michelle, for your hard work on this. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Motion to approve ordinance number 2025-27 on first reading made by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Vice Mayor Porras?
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes. Yes. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Next item.
Item 19F, ordinance number 2025-28, telecommunications on the right-of-way. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, amending chapter 38, article 2, title communications right-of-way, providing for incorporation of recitals, incorporation into the code, severability, and an effective date.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open a public hearing for this item. Public hearing is now open for item 25-6276. Anyone who would like to speak, please approach the podium on this item. Being none, we will close public comments on item 25-6276. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one has chosen to speak at this time. And I will now turn it over to Councilman Pinedo. I believe this is your item.
Thank you, Mayor. As some of you might know, the last time that we actually had a revision on the telecommunication on rights of way ordinance was back in 2008. In 2019, the state of Florida passed legislation that removed many of the rights of local governments to regulate telecommunication infrastructure on rights of way. However, this legislation prescribed the manner in which local governments, through local legislation, could regulate distance placement, permit process, application, and something that is very important, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to bring this forward, is the aesthetics. The proposed legislation, if it gets approved, will update the city's current ordinance and certainly strengthens the city's ability to regulate the placement of telecommunication on the city's rights of way. So, and I want to thank our city attorney and administration, the city manager, for helping in going over. It's a long, extended ordinance, but I believe what we're accomplishing here, it's great for our city, especially looking forward. And I want to thank the city attorney, and I want to pass it to him since, thank you, Lorenzo, for helping putting this together. I think that revisions that we're making to the ordinance certainly will help from now on everything that is related to all these telecommunications and antennas that sometimes you see they're placed in different locations around the city without us knowing anything or having any inputs at all. So I pass it to you, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much, Councilman Pinheiro, for those words. As you eloquently stated, Yes, back in 2019, Florida Statute 337401, which regulates the use of utilities and the rights of way, was overhauled by the state of Florida, and then new amendments were also made in 2022. What this amendment did was it prohibits municipalities from completely restricting any utility poles that have telecommunication or co-location of telecommunication technology on poles that are on cities, municipalities' rights of way. That being said, the city of Doral, as well as other cities across the state of Florida, did retain a significant amount of authority, which, if codified, can be used in order to maintain, as you stated, the aesthetics. It can also be used to make sure that there is a distance requirement between poles. It also requires that the applicant register with the city, and that when they do provide their actual request for a permit, that they also provide for a bond. At the time that they provide the request for a permit, the way that this ordinance is now written, it requires them to provide a set of plans, a set of engineering specs, a set of different types of documentation to ensure that the actual product that is going to go on the city's right-of-way is a product that is found appeasing to the city. One thing that we're going to be analyzing between first and second reading, I'll be sitting with you and we're sitting with staff, is to come up with different types of, not necessarily specific designs, but specific elements that we want to incorporate in these poles as far as the structure of the poles, as far as the color of the poles. Do we want certain types of stealth in order for it not to look like a telecommunication poles? Those sort of things that, as a city, we do have the right to regulate. Finally, if the individual, the applicant, fails to abide by any of these, his permit may be revoked. There are penalties and provisions for penalties in this agreement as well, in this ordinance. And finally, it also does provide that if certain poles are abandoned on the right-of-way, that the city has the right to take remedial actions in removing those poles.
Thank you.
Motion.
Okay, motion to approve by Vice Mayor Porras. Second by Councilman Pinedo. All right, if there is no other questions or comments. None? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2025-28 on first reading made by Vice Mayor Porras, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. Great
you.
job. All right,
Next item, 19G, ordinance number 2025-29, amending rules of procedure, public comments. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, amending Division 3, rules of procedure of Article 2, City Council of Chapter 2, Administration of the city's Code of Ordinances, providing for implementation, incorporation into the code, incorporation of recitals, severability, and an effective date.
All right, opening up public comments for item 25-6266. Anyone who would like to speak on this item and this item alone, please approach the podium. Being none, okay, we will close public comments. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect. No one has chosen to speak at this time, and I will turn it over to the city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor.
Item.
Thank you, Mayor. This is just an item in order to continue with the streamlining process of council meetings. Our code currently stipulates that for public comments, individuals have to come up and fill out three different color cards, and that just takes a little bit of time for them to do that when it's just much easier to implement a QR code, which you already kind of started doing it for the signage sheet, but now this is just to clean up the code and make it more user-friendly.
Yes.
Motion to approve?
Grilled the city clerk on this, making sure that it wasn't removing any opportunity to participate. It's just really creating a more digital
Correct.
way of keeping the record. So
Second.
less papers. All right, motion to approve by Councilwoman Cabral, second by Vice Mayor Porras. If there's no other questions or comments, please call the roll.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2025-29 on first reading made by Councilwoman Cabral, seconded by Vice Mayor Porras. Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much.
Last item, second reading, ordinance number 2025-21, adopting a ratified investment policy. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, adopting a ratified investment policy for the city of Doral, providing for severability, implementation, incorporation of recitals, incorporation into the code, and an effective date. This was approved on first reading on June 4th.
All right, I'm going to open a public hearing for item 25-6185. Anyone who would like to speak on this item, please approach the podium. Being none, Public comments is now closed. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect, no one has chosen to speak at this time, and as if finance had not gotten grilled enough today. We have questions. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody have any questions? If not, I need a motion to approve. This is the second reading, and I don't believe there's any changes. Motion to approve by Councilwoman Cabral.
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo. All right, no additional questions for finance. They got their fair share today. Madam Clerk?
Motion to approve ordinance number 2025-21 on second reading, made by Councilwoman Cabral, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. That exhausts our council meeting for August. We appreciate your attendance and participation today. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn by
Second.
Councilman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.